All the different engineers and machinists that we have such a talented team that I leave it to them, let them do their thing.
Welcome back to Christina's Garage Gearhead in Training. I'm here for part 2 at Speedtech Performance with Cameron. We just looked through R&D and now we're going to go look to see where they're all made.
Yeah, let's go check out the machine side, the factory side of the shop. This is the machine shop. So all of our suspension we build here in-house. We get the tubes, we bend the tubes, cut the tubes, cope the tubes, all the different variations like our spindles. It's a forged aluminum piece. We do get them forged somewhere else, but then they're brought here, and then we do all the trimming and whatnot on them. And then all the chassis, they're laser cut, CNC bent, which is done by a local company here that we partnered with, and then it's all hand welded together.
I love that you guys are collaborating with other companies. I'm a firm believer of the same idea, what do they call it? Rising tide raises all ships?
Raises all ships. And we try to keep it as much local as we can. So with our laser cutter, he's a guy who was literally across the street and said, hey, I think I'm going to open up this business. What do you guys think? And we're like, yeah, let's do it, because we were outsourcing that somewhere further away. And so it helps us cut some costs and things so we can then in turn keep our prices down to our customers. And then it helps another local person employ more local people, and it's a whole made in USA stamp, and we love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have, 7 or 8 different CNC machines that all do different things. We could spend an hour going through that, but it's easier for me so I don't look stupid on camera like part 1 to just say they do their things. So
they're magic magicians with
all the different engineers and machinists that we have such a talented team that I leave it to them, let them do their thing. We'll walk this way. This part is just kind of warehouse where orders are being prepped to ship out, because we do ship our stuff all around the world. So we skipped over our wood shop area because we build all of our crates and everything here in-house that we send the frames in, and so we literally
it has to be custom anyway because of how everything is.
Yeah, we'll see. You're getting a live, non-staged tour, so things might look hectic or whatever, but
that's what real life is.
We're a working factory, So this is just kind of the warehouse part where different pieces are being prepped to be shipped out. So some of these are for stock. Something that we learned during the whole, not getting political here, during the whole COVID thing, we didn't know what was going to happen, like a lot of people, right? And so we told everybody, hey, let's tighten our belt. We don't know if we're a luxury company, right? You don't have to build a 67 Camaro. You don't have to do those things. Like, this is a fun hobby. We didn't know what was going to happen. Well, in the automotive industry, and as you're speaking to people, they could all probably say the same thing. We had all just like this influx. Our customers just like started pouring, and we were like, opposite of what we thought was going to happen. We were super happy, And so at that time, we had to really restructure the way we did our manufacturing. And so there's some other companies in our industry that, they're booked out a year if you order a chassis. Well, the way that we've structured it is we actually have the lowest lead times in the industry because we had some really smart people say, hey, let's do it this way. And it's really benefited us. And so instead of people waiting, 9, 12 months for a chassis, if you called us today, we would be 8 weeks.
Wow.
So we're substantially quicker.
And when you purchase a chassis or anything through you guys, are the products made after they make that purchase, or?
It just depends. Like some of these, like that says stock, right? So that's a Chevelle frame, and that's a truck chassis, and they both say stock on them. And so those are just in stock. So if someone calls up and says, hey, I've got a 70 Chevelle I want a chassis for, okay, perfect. That thing will ship out like the next day. So it just kind of depends. And then if not, because our laser cutter is here local that cuts all the pieces to our chassis, we keep a lot of the laser puzzle pieces in stock. So then if someone calls up, hey, I've got a 55 Chevy truck, okay, we know we already have the laser cut pieces here in-house, so then we can weld up a few chassis and get ready to go.
Very efficient.
Yep. Yep. So as I said, everything's laser cut, CNC bent, hand welded, done all here in-house.
I love to see that there's so many businesses that I'm interviewing that have so much hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how much is done by humans still, and that work better. Also, you have a combination between, it's not all one or another, there's a good marriage between the two.
Right.
And it's really cool to see the behind the scenes that, well, you don't have to be a mechanic to be a part of this industry, and if you love cars, you want to be a part of it, there's so many ways that you can be involved without fitting into that one box.
For sure. And the cool thing about the car industry as a whole is it's literally like a big family, right? When I've been going through personal things that have nothing to do with Speedtech, I'll get calls or texts or Facebook messages, hey man, just want to make sure you're doing good, from people that I've only met because of cars. And I love it.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, you and I, we've only met because of cars. Mm-hmm. Now we're Facebook friends and all that, you know?
I feel like I've been able to, like, everybody's been very welcoming.
Yeah.
And especially for me, that I now I have more experience. I didn't have any experience. I'm still so new. There's so much that, like, I didn't know what turbos were and all
Apparently
these other
I didn't either. So.
Hey, we all learned. And it's really cool to see that the culture is just so welcoming, and I'm excited to be able to help share that with even more people, that it's like, hey, if this is an interest that you have, shoot your shot. Go out there and ask questions. People are in general there are always those people that aren't going to be friendly, but for the most part, everybody that I've met has been really helpful, and they want to help teach too, which is cool.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So I feel lucky to get to do this every day. Absolutely.
Lights your heart on fire.
Oh, I love it. Let me show you kind of the welding area. Obviously, we're not going to stare into the bright light, but
that's why they have the red.
So everything's jigged up. You see these carts here. That is basically a chassis sitting on that cart in 200 pieces. And so then it'll all get put up here and welded on the jigs, and then get sent out for powder coat or whatever, you know, the next stage is for that exact build. And
is that how you keep track of, as you mentioned, there are all these puzzle pieces, you put them on the same rack, and that's how you keep track of what goes where? Yep.
And so then that rack, it'll be marked, you know, this rack's a 57 Bel Air chassis. And then we have like weld books for the welders that basically, it's a map or a step-by-step guide of you weld this piece to this piece, and it's just a step-by-step instruction on how to put the big puzzle together. So.
And do each of the puzzle pieces have like a label or something that way they know?
Yeah, so everything is, let me grab one of these. So everything has a laser number, and so it'll say number 820112 gets welded up to 820113 and whatever that way. So everything's etched in it.
And that you said it's CNC cut?
So it's laser cut.
Laser cut.
And then we use a CNC brake for all the bends.
That's so cool.
I love it. I love it.
That's so neat. You guys having fun? I'm like.
So.
And you mentioned this room here is where they put everything together?
Yeah, so this is the assembly room. So when, let's just say, a control arm comes back from powder coating, we'll put the bushings and the grease zerks and the ball joint, all that in, and then box it up, put it on a shelf. And so that then when the customer orders their chassis, you know, we take the control arm box, put it in the crate that's going to go out to the customer.
When you send it out to the customer, all the parts are separate. and then because my dad had it was already assembled. I didn't
Right.
know.
Yep, so basically when you open your crate, you'll have a subframe, you'll have a box of control arms, you'll have a box of your QA1 coilovers, you'll have a steering rack, all the different things that you ordered. And then from there you'll want to fit it up to do all your mock fitment before you get your subframe powder coated or whatever. And then once you've mocked everything up and checked fitment on everything, then you usually tear it back apart and paint it and powder coat it and all that stuff.
And if someone's interested in getting parts for you guys, maybe they don't know what they should get, what would be the best way for them to get in contact or do that research?
So I would call us, honestly. We've got a sales team that's very knowledgeable about everything, and they can help you from the first consultation all the way to after your car's built. If there's any customer service or anything you may need, our sales team's great. We also have a source on Facebook. We call it Team Speedtech. It's a group. So additional to everything we do here, we also have essentially a race team of around 35 cars that we sponsor all around the country that goes to events, such as the Optima Ultimate Street Car like we saw in Vegas at the finals. So we've got a group where you can actually chat with our pro drivers and talk to them about their setup and everything.
And if someone's interested in working for you guys, and maybe they're not sure what positions you might have open, what kind of qualifications,
For sure.
help them shoot their shot.
Yeah.
What would you suggest for them?
So if you go to our website and under the Contact Us, we have a Careers tab, and that has all of our open job listings right there. And then you can actually send your resume and everything through our website.
And on your website, does it say what events you guys go to? Because I found that really helpful to just talk to you guys in person.
Yeah, so we've got a list of our calendar that we go to every year. We go to events all around the country every month of the year. We've got our big semi that we take, all around. And if we're not there, chances are there's a Team Speedtech member at an event. And we'd be happy to chat with anybody.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Cameron. I really appreciate you having me out. This has been really cool, and it's helping me appreciate my parts more.
Yeah.
And I hope that this also helps, because when you get the product, you don't get to see what's all put into it, all that effort, and the fact that these are all hand welded, and the appreciation for me, I'm able to take it in a lot more, and I really appreciate you helping me with this process.
Absolutely, anytime.